Alright, got our first piece of equipment coming out. Nice little lull here from United Rentals. Alright, here comes the first truck. It's like Christmas time. This is going to be our Zip R3 sheathing here. First truck from Southern Lumber. Woo. A little tight turn here. All right, and we're rolling. So this back porch makes for a nice staging, clean staging area for this Zip R sheathing that we want to keep protected as much as possible. That's all right. Yeah, there you go. Little blooper there. He left the stabilizers down. Alright, last load from this truck. And we got a whole semi sitting out, staged out by the road. We got unload too. Alright, that's truck number 1. So if you've ever wondered what bricks of gold look like, that's this. Now you see. So we got a Vantech subfloor here. This is going to be the flooring for the second floor part. Not a large second floor that we have. Then we got Zip R sheathing. This is going to be an R3, which is a 1-inch total thickness. So we got a 1/2-inch piece of OSB plywood and a 1/2 inch of foam insulation. This is going to go up on the walls of the house on the exterior. And we have a few sheets of 5/8 here that is going to go on the roof. And then we got several pallets full of 5/8 zip that is going to be the rest of the roof. Alright, so we're having a little problem getting the tractor trailer turned in here, so we're just gonna unfortunately have to block the road for a little bit as we get all this unloaded. So all of this here is the Timber Strand LSLs. These are, looks like, I thought they were all supposed to be 20 foot, but looks like we got some 10 footers maybe, or are those 12s? No, those are 10s. So all these are gonna be our studs of the house. And we have to cut these 20-foot ones that we have in half, so make sure everything works out right. All right, here we go in tandem actually. So they're using their little machine, and then we're rolling out this big lull too. Get these things offloaded quicker. And now we're blocking the road a little bit. You can go straight in, like you stacked it that way. Stack it all the way that way, or yeah, because that'd be hard to get 2 stacks that way. So he's just passing it off from the lull to the Moffett. Oh. He's got to push that. Oh, he's getting the top. There you go. There you go. That's better. Had to restack it. And you see how flat these things are, these packs? That wood is flat and perfect. And it's square. There's no bow, there's no change in the pack. It is a square cube. If that would have been regular spruce, pine, fir, SPF, what they call it, studs, that thing would have not been square at all. It would have been somewhat square, but it would have been waves in it, and it wouldn't have been as straight and even. So this is, if it can be as close to perfect wood, this is perfect wood. And this will be so much better of a finished product at the end of the day, because your walls will be true and straight, flat, not crooked. It'll just be on point. So everything else that gets attached to these walls, drywall, cabinets, fixtures, is all going to be flat. There's not going to be any gaps or bows or bends in the wall, unless somebody makes it that way. It's not going to automatically be that way. And we can't say, well, it's the wood, you know. So anything you start with, if you start with a bow in the wall or a bend in the wall, unless you straighten it out and manhandle it into perfect flatness or shim it to perfect flatness, you're gonna end up with a bad product at the end of the day. So I don't know why more, especially custom home builders, don't do this in their houses. Now granted, they may do a wall or two, but this is the whole house. So plus this wood is much stronger than a regular piece of just milled tree, which is interesting because you would think that the tree itself in one piece of wood would be stronger than something manufactured, but this is stronger because it's several chips and pieces, and we'll show you what it looks like here after they get done unloading. But it's all the glue that they use in this too. All this is glued together and just milled perfectly, so your denseness of the wood is going to be much better, much harder. We'll have to crank up the pressure on the guns if they're going to use air guns. I've got a couple cordless framing guns that we'll use to nail these things together. But yeah, this is let's see if it gives the specs on here. So this is actually made in Canada. They actually shipped this from the West Coast, and I think it's got a yeah, they're 1.5s. So I think, if I'm correct, a regular stud is like a 1 or even lower than a 1 as far as strengthness. So you know, when they say a number 1 stud, that's like the straightness of it. And if you get a number 2, it's not as strong because it has knots and things in it, and it has imperfections in it that make it not as strong. So these are even better than a number 1 stud. These are 1.5, so this is 1.5 times better than a regular stud, which is superior. Now granted, you're gonna pay more for these, but guess what, in this world you actually get what you pay for. So if you want to drive a Yugo, you'll pay for a Yugo, and it'll be cheap. But if you want a, you know, luxury car, you're gonna pay for it. You know, you get all the convenience and the nicer way it's made, and yeah, you're gonna get what you pay for. Plus, you see how all these packs are nicely packed and wrapped and cared for. You know, again, these aren't cheap studs. So we want to make sure they don't get wet, they don't get damaged. The only thing we want to make sure of is that they get put up and set in the right places. That's neat. He's got some of these little staging forks at the bottom there. He just set that pack on, and then he's able to put his forks back up underneath it and slide them in up underneath there even better. So he's trying to get that other pack to slide back on it. All right, we got the second floor trusses here coming in, getting ready to be dropped off.